What's going on, YouTube? Chris with CBModelworks. Welcome back to the garage. So we got car build number 7 for the year. It's the 37 Ford pickup. This is going to be for the Rustbucket group build, put on by Marcelo over at Mars Garage. So doing a little bit of mock-up here. I don't know if you remember, a while back I started working on this and I jacked up the frame. I was trying to lower it and doing it the wrong way. So you can kind of see there the frame is all kinds of jacked up. So I decided, you know what? I'm just going to use it for the Rustbucket build. So instead of doing it shiny, we're going to rough it up a bit. So got my mock-up going here. And now we're moving on to painting the rust color that's going to be underneath. This is Create Text Burnt Umber. Now I did try a couple new things on this one. One of them is to do the rust. Instead of using a sponge, I'm doing the salt technique on this one. As you can see here, we're doing red interior. It's not as bright as it looks on camera. For some reason on camera it looks really bright. It's really not that bright. We dirty it up anyway. So now just going over it with some water on a clean paintbrush, just using bottled water. And got some cracked salt throwing on there. Things may seem kind of a weird order in this video because this is exactly the order that I did everything in, which sometimes I'm all over the place when I build. I decided not to do any editing and like moving everything around where it makes sense, doing like all the body work or all the chassis. It's just simply how I built the model, since we're doing it all in one video anyway. So this is how my brain works. I'm kind of all over the place. So we got all our salt on the body, and I'm sure you saw in the thumbnail we're going with white on this one. And I know it's not quite in camera. I was having some issues with my airbrush again. I think it's from that Create Text paint. I don't think I got it cleaned out good enough or something in between. This is only a couple hours after I sprayed that Create Text, and it seemed to be clogging. Did some work on it and you can see it's spraying much better here, but it definitely clogged something up to where it was barely spraying. So this is probably, I think this is about 30 minutes later or so. Same day. And just same paintbrush with the same bottled water. Just poured it in a bowl this time. Knocking all the salt off. I do like the look of this. It definitely, to me, is kind of more realistic as far as, you know, if you're kind of letting it go. Could have did a little bit better with the rust colors. I should have went over with the the red and yellow underneath the white, so I got a little variation on the rust. But yeah, a note for next time, I guess. But I do like how the salt gives you the nice random look to it. And it also looks kind of rough. I like that. The way it should be if it's rusted. What I'm going for on this one is kind of a guy wants to build a hot rod, but he can't afford a hot rod and a daily driver, so he's driving his wannabe hot rod as a daily driver, so it's going to get all dirtied up. The chassis, we're just going to paint all black. You can see, again, the broken parts of the frame there. So that just, everything got completely done in Vallejo black. For the wood, using this Tamiya light sand. I think it makes a good wood color. And while that's drying, come back to this. The Vallejo paint dries really fast. And we're just going to hit it with the rust color. Kind of trying to get all over, but also make it kind of uneven. And then carefully, since I don't know why I glued the headers on, I should have just mocked it up a little bit and taken them off, but trying to get some rust on those. The wheels. This here is Vallejo, I believe it's leather brown. Just mixed with some water, and it helps get into all the little wood grain. That's what I'm looking for. My mind kind of blanked out on me there. This is Vallejo silver I'm using instead of Molotow, because I actually don't want it super shiny since it's supposed to be dirty. I want it to look like it's a little dulled out, so I went with the silver paint instead of the chrome. It's only my second time doing a wood bed, but they're actually kind of fun. And then when we're done, we're going to dirty it up a little bit more with that same mixture. But I'm going to leave it on there a little bit longer, just so I get little, here we go, just so I get little dirty spots and stuff. I'm just going to let it sit and then come in. Got the black wash on the engine. We're going to dirty this up. And now tires. These are not the tires I used to mock it up, which it's going to come get me later, which I'll show you at the end. But I did think it needed a little bit wider tires for the look I was going for. So I found some in the parts box. Getting them all sanded down. And now we're going to wire up the engine since it's going to be exposed. Figured I should at least do the wiring on it. And this one, it's got little, I guess they're supposed to be spark plugs, which made it kind of difficult to drill out, so just kind of nicked those off, and then I was able to drill the holes and get the wires in. One thing that I was unclear on, I tried looking at some reference pictures and it was kind of hard on the stock engines. I couldn't tell if all the spark plug wires came out of that like they would a distributor. I'm not very familiar with these Ford flatheads. And yeah, there's so much stuff in front of it in all the pictures. It was hard to tell, but I'm hoping that's correct. I'm not worried about firing orders or anything like that, but I'm hoping that's at least where they go. I'm sure somebody will let me know down in the comments. Yeah, this is where's this wire from? CBModelworks. For some reason, I was thinking something else. But yeah, this is from CBModelworks, which I pretty much used it up on this one, so gonna need to get some more of that. I got some from, I think it was Go For Racing, but it seemed a little too thick for 1/25th scale engines. Alright, so we're all wired up. Get the engine in. The drive shaft doesn't quite make it all the way to the engine because of everything I did, but you can't tell from underneath because of that little mounting plate, so you can't tell it doesn't connect. Then the front grille, this is the part that's going to get me later, so I'm gluing it where I mocked it up at, but the tires I'm putting on have a little bit lower profile, so it lowered the car more. And because I moved that, the the kit hoses won't work. So I've got just some spare wire, and I'm going to make a couple hoses. Wire's slightly thick, but it's good enough. I'll paint it black later. Alright, back to the detailing. We got the chalks out now. I'm just using a couple dirt colors, tan, brown, black. Just kind of going around all the body, the interior, everything, and just kind of getting some dirty on it. I tried to go around randomly and do it and get the darker colors where I thought the darker colors would be down at the bottom. And again, same thing on the bed here. Get a bunch on there. With those rear tires exposed, it's going to be throwing up all kinds of mud and dirt. Alright, so now we're getting the interior together. Interior I did just super simple. I did have to cut out the floor, so I just made a new one. Got our gauges going in. The old Mod Podge trick to make the lenses on them. And then I did dirty up that dash a bit too. That's Vallejo Model Air Red on that interior. It's kind of it's like a matte satin kind of paint. And again on the window trim here, same thing with the bed. I didn't want it too bright, super bright chrome or anything like that. So I went with the Vallejo silver, and I'm just brushing it on. This part is fun for me. I really like the brush painting. I think it's one of my favorite parts of building. Getting the little tiny brushes and brushing all these little details. I really enjoy it. Alright, getting the glass in. Glass was really good on this kit. Crystal clear. Hand brushed all the trim on the front window as well. Alright, we're gonna try and bring out the rear emblem a little bit. Doing what I can anyway. There's a lot going on with all the rust and everything. Alright, so that should be just about done. Again, it's not super noticeable, but just wanted to bring it out a little bit. Alright, so time to put it all together. Got the cab glued down, gluing the bed down now. And we got our wheels going on. So on the rear wheels, the tires I used was wider. So I found some extra wheel backs in the parts box and put them in between the stock wheels to get the correct width that I needed. Sorry about the out of camera. Sometimes you just gotta move it to be able to see what you're doing. And you can see my little exhaust there popping out under the cab. Just made those out of the original exhaust pipes, just cut them and bent them a little bit. Alright, all the little chrome pieces, the wipers, mirror, door handles, hit them all with some flat clear before I put them on. For some reason forgot to turn the camera on when I was doing that. But we got our last little bit to do here. We can get some window masks on. And then I've got some of that light sand in the airbrush and just kind of giving the whole model a little bit of a dusting. Going real light. Just if you've ever driven a car in Texas for a day, you know how much dust gets on that car, on the window, on everything. So that's why I'll never have a black car in Texas. Not because of the heat, because it'd be so hard to keep it clean. So got some, I think this is chocolate brown. And I'm just kind of throwing like some mud on there. On the tires, splattered it where I've never done that splattering before. Definitely can't control it as well as you can the airbrush. But all in all, I'm really happy with this one. This is the final product. Went ahead and threw a Ford license plate on there. I think that was a leftover from the 55 Ford, sorry, from the last USAC build. But yeah, super happy with this one. Love how it came out. Something different. They don't all have to be shiny. I like how it kind of looks like an in progress kind of daily driver. So got the battery in there with the cables. I did kind of cheat on those. I didn't actually run them anywhere. They're just kind of tucked behind the engine where you can't see them, but it still gives the effect you want. The rust on the firewall, the wheels, dirty. Everything's rusted underneath. I forgot to dirty up underneath the bed, but no big deal. I did throw a little bit of dirt stains in the bed. Obviously black washed everything. Interior's hard to see. It's pretty clean. Nothing major. I didn't do like any tearing or anything like that. I just kind of dirtied it up. Kind of a no big deal thing. But here you can see that front grille is after sanding the bottom of it a little bit, is like a fraction of a millimeter off of the ground. Like speed bumps would be this guy's enemy. But all in all, very happy with this one. Marcelo, if you're watching, thank you for putting on this group build again. Had a lot of fun. Little hint as to what's to come, or should I say a big hint. The next one is going to be quite large. Let me get this camera moved. So next one up is going to be the AMT 1/16 scale 1979 Firebird. Alright, so there we go. Build number 7 in the books. Thanks everyone for hanging out with me. Thanks for watching these videos. Thanks for subbing to me. Please feel free to comment down below. Give me a like. It'll help me. Enjoy the pictures, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.